Are there any date timeline PDF showing the years of changes to our Constitution? So there are some present day online constitutions that are a deviant or variant of the original, not accurate to the original. Let me address, I think, the question you're trying to ask. There's people that say there is two constitutions in this nation, and there in fact is only one. But what they did was they took the original Constitution in form, and the corporation adopted a certain portion of it, and quite literally on ushouse.gov and one other website, I think it's library.gov, I found where they bracketed the first, I think 10 or 12 amendments to the Constitution, so that they were not dealing with the Bill of Rights, if you will. And so we had the Bill of Rights ratified in 1791, and that was basically the freedoms affirming. Remember, the Constitution isn't for us, it's to restrain them. So we don't have constitutional rights. We have God-given unalienable rights. But what they did is they took the Constitution and they adopted as the corporation only the portion that was made available at that time, but leaving anything that was done from an amendment standpoint on the Bill of Rights off the table. And so it's kind of strange. You'll see the brackets around the numbers on the first 10 or 12, and then from the time the corporation took over in the mid 1700s or mid 1800s, 1867-ish to 1871, the corporation was fully in charge at that time. It was invented in the early 1800s, my opinion, pretty good opinion. I've seen the corporation in lawsuits at the United States Supreme Court level as early as 1806, so it could have been done before. But the point being is the corporation was only put in a place to operate as a form of government to uphold our unalienable rights. But the de jure element of the people stepped down in 1861, and the de facto element of the body of people stepped into the corporation, became corporate officers with corporate interests. And I can go on to a complete breakdown of how it historically happened, and all the way through 32, 33, 34, and 35, which are very important things legislation wise, loss of freedom wise, Trading with the Enemy Act, and now included in 1933 United States citizens, meaning you were the enemy now because you were in an international bankruptcy. House Joint Resolution 192 verifies that, where the United States corporation went bankrupt. And so the point I'm trying to make is the corporation only picked up from the time in which the de jure element left off. So in fact, there is two different constitutions being honored. And then all the while they talk about private citizenship and state of the union citizenship, which has nothing to do with the corporation or anything beyond 1871. So technically a state citizen from a legal or lawful standpoint is protected by the original Constitution, and the United States citizen has no protections of the Bill of Rights or the Constitution. And that is a Supreme Court ruling, meaning the United States citizen is not protected by the Constitution whatsoever. So to answer your question is, yeah, theoretically there's two, but to see time altered events on an original, you're not going to see that. You're going to see changes to the way people are representing the words and the wordplay within the Constitution, but it's not going to be on the House website or house.gov. But there are people out there that pass out misinformation pertaining to what the Constitution actually reads, and it definitely changes the terms of how they are to be protecting us. So I hope I was clear enough to help you through that.